thinking about bringing it to you?
Yes.
And then the discussion occurs?
We go, like on this particular case, we went out there, met with them, myself, homicide detective. We discuss what we have, we show them what we have. We seek any suggestions or thoughts from them. We tell them what we would like to submit, and then they will go through that, and then they'll let us know what they will accept.
Okay, so they're the final authority.
Yes, sir.
And so if something hasn't been tested that you might have wanted, they explain to you why that wasn't going to happen and it didn't get tested.
They have their reasons, sir.
Okay.
I can't speak for them.
And so if someone who wasn't privy to that conversation, the only way we can know that they've asserted their authority is that something wasn't tested.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I just have a couple of questions regarding some of the other things that you've testified to. Bear with me. Now, did you take into account the injuries of the people as you found out in the investigation as to some of these stains that you observed?
Could you clarify that question, sir?
Did you take into account the injuries of the two people who were injured and were contributors to blood stains and blood spatter and things like that?
On this case, yes, sir. Because we had two people with wounds and injuries.
Okay.
And that was Christine Banfield and Joe Ryan.
Now, when you look at the initial body camera, I think it might have been Officer Baumler's. Did you look at that?
I looked at several body-worn cameras, sir.
So the first one in into the room.
The very first officer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think that, along with what we've heard in the 911, you've heard that too, correct?
I didn't listen to the tape, sir.
Okay. Christine Banfield was on her side and was asked to do that by the 911 operator before first responders came. Would that account for the larger and deeper blood stains that you've described that were near the bed area where you say it was her?
Well, she was found on body-worn camera away from the bed on her left side facing the bathroom with her head closest to that tall dresser.
Right, and did you know that she was rolled over?
Once I saw the body-worn camera.
Okay. Now, the carpet area near Christine's body that you've identified, it's a large stain that you've talked about?
Yes.
Was that tested for blood?
No, sir.
Okay. And that's what you were talking about, was soaked all the way through?
That was soaked only, the stain closest to the bed, sir,
Yeah.
was the one that soaked all the way through the pad down to the subfloor, had the larger stain on the subfloor.
Okay.
The one where Christine was found, it did soak through, but not as much volume, and the stain that was on the wood of the subfloor was significantly smaller than the original stain on the top of the carpet.
Okay. And was the significant stain larger than the other stain? Was that tested?
No, sir.
Okay. And so just so I'm clear, so the stain, as you looked at the picture that you observed today, the larger stain that went through to the subfloor was the one next to the corner of the bed.
Yes.
Do you want to see that picture, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
111, I believe.
Let me,
I'd love to pull up 111.
Okay, there we go.
Mr. Carroll, the picture on the screen if you want to.
yes. So I'm looking at the picture in the same direction you're looking.
Yes,
the
sir.
One that you, just so I'm correct, the one that you indicated had the larger stains that went all the way to the floorboard was the stain near the bedpost of the bed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the one that you've testified was not tested.
To make it a little simple for you, my notes, that stain that you're looking at, I designate as bloodstain 1. Bloodstain 2 is going to be the one closer to the dresser.
Yes.
Bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2, neither were sent to the lab for processing.
Okay. And so we're not sure who the contributor of that blood on bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2 is.
No, sir,
We
we
don't have any confirmation through DFS.
don't have DNA forensic, but we have body worn camera showing her body position.
Okay. Now, do you know where Mr. Ryan, Joe Ryan, was located in the room when he was shot, based upon your
No, sir.
examination?
No, sir. I know where his body was at when it fell.
Okay. And that was the one near the dog bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible if he was, Mr. Ryan was shot at the foot of the bed, which is where those stains are, that the blood would be in the same area?
If that's where he was shot, it could be, yes, sir.
Okay. But there's no way of knowing that?
No, sir.
Okay. If, Joe's, Ryan's blood was on the carpet in the area that we've just talked about, and an object was placed on that carpet, could, depending on whose blood it is, could that blood transfer to any item that was put on that area? That makes sense?
No, it didn't, sir. If you could clarify, please.
So if an object was put in this area where we have the two blood stains, we
Yes,
don't have
sir.
to say who they are because we don't know. But if there was an object that was put there, could those blood stains with the magnitude of them, could that transfer to whatever object that is?
So what you're asking, sir, if I'm clear, is if an object is put down in one of those blood stains that's picked up and then moved and put into another location, could it transfer those blood?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay.
possible, sir.
Do you have, in terms of I know you only have a limited kind of focus in this case, but do you have any idea whether my client is a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter?
When I documented his property that was brought to me from that was collected at the hospital, he had his holster on the right side and was a right-hand draw holster.
And that would indicate he's a right-handed shooter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you saw when the original responders arrived, isn't it true that he was tending to Christine down on his knees, and you would have, the original first responders were coming to him from his right side, correct?
As they approached into the room, that would be correct, sir.
Okay.
Because he was on his knees facing the bathroom. So as they approach, they would approach Christine's feet, and as they would move upward, it'd be to his right.
Okay. And at that point in the, I strike that. Brendan's gun had blood on it, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there any way in your investigation to know where that blood came from?
No, sir.
If it had been sitting in that large and deep blood stain that we just talked about, could that have transferred to the gun?
That's possible, yes, sir.
Okay. Was the blood on the gun tested?
No, sir.